Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Joe. Today is May the 11th. In my journey to 50k, I'm currently at 124.59, so down by about 1.6%, which is about 2,000. For the past week, down by about 9.78%, which is about 13,000. For the past month, down by about 14.76%, which is about 20,800. For the past 3 months, down by about 31.65%, which is about 55,700. And for the past year, up by about 25%, which is about 24,600. So if you're new to this channel, I usually show you my long-term plays and how they're weathering in my journey to 50k, as well as my short-term plays. So currently we have all the indices red. We had a pretty bad sell-off in the pre-market. You can actually see we hit almost 115k, but we're slowly recovering. One thing to notice is if you have like Webull, and you can trade pre-market and aftermarket hours, just be very careful in jumping into stocks just because you're seeing some sudden movement. Be very rational. How am I handling this? Personally, I'm just patiently looking at my portfolio, seeing the ones which got hit the biggest, and kind of noting them down so that when things recover, I can either scale down and maybe move them to either other stable positions which might give smaller returns but not have some crazy fluctuation. It's up to you. Quick reminder, this is just for entertainment purposes only. Today we'll be talking a little bit about Palantir. I know a lot of people have been talking about Palantir, and I took my position in Palantir. One thing I would like to mention is I do believe this company has some potential. I know a lot of people have been talking about outrageous valuations, but I think everybody has an opinion to say, which is good if you do your own DCFs and kind of come with some calculations which make sense for you. I think you're warranted to have a belief in the company. One thing I can relate this with is like Domo. When I bought Domo back in the day, I bought it for very low, and then it almost doubled and got out of a position, and that's kind of a data analytics company. I also had Adobe at some point, and I got out of the position after almost doubling my money. And this is the same case. It has to do with data, and they have a lot of contracts with the government and a lot of organizations, and I think it's a big complicated platform or company to sell to folks who don't understand. But let's go through it. Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR, currently up by about 3.8% for the week, down by about 11.9% for the month, down by about 21.8%, 3 months down by about 48%, and for the year up by about 91%. You can see I have my 110 shares at an average cost of 23.02, so currently down by about 17%. We did have their earnings yesterday, but let's look at the stats real quick before we go there. Market cap 38 billion. So volume today is about 106 million. I believe this is also one of the most mentioned stock online, let's say on Reddit. So there's a lot of volume being traded right now, so just be aware that there's a lot of interest, if either to the upside and the downside. Just make sure you're on the right side of the trade whenever things either go south or up. You can see this article or what's happening with Palantir stock today. I think the sell-off kind of threw a lot of people off, but it kind of recovered real quick. So let's go through this article real quick. Palantir shares are trading lower by about 9.58% at 16.70 in Tuesday pre-market session, despite the company is reporting better than expected first quarter sales results. You can see it recovered from that low. Actually, for those who looked at the pre-market, I'm sure you are a bit terrified of what was going on. It was a little bit crazy. So Palantir reported quarterly earnings of 4 cents per share, which met the analyst consensus estimate. The company reported quarterly sales of 341 million, which beat the analyst consensus estimate of 332.23 million. Palantir provides the organization with solutions to manage large disparate data sets in an attempt to gain insight and provide operational outcomes. So one thing is, when a company reports their earnings, for the most part we've seen in this market just the stock tanking like crazy. It did happen for a minute for this stock, but I think there's a lot of interest mostly in the retail sector. I believe I think ARK Invest also loaded up yesterday, so we have a lot of people who are also buying it, institutional investors. So we might get some advantage with the price moving up. I still believe by the end of the year I will have doubled from where I'm at, so anywhere in the range of 45 to 50 bucks is very doable. I know the economy right now is looking a little bit shaky, with inflation creeping up, and also the job report numbers don't look as impressive. CPI data is expected tomorrow, so be very careful when trading. Mostly this week, just be a little bit vigilant with your portfolio. Have your high conviction plays in the radar, so that I can see how they're moving, how they're acting in this red market. But just stay strong, and don't worry, don't panic sell. If you are getting out of position, make sure that you've thought through the consequences, either the tax issues or obligations, or you also maybe just need to cut ties with the stock. It's up to you. Just make sure you're doing it in a sober mind. Don't be stressed. We're here. If you're having a hard time, you can always chat with us in the comment section. We're in this together. We'll go through it, and I'm sure by the end of the year we'll look back and we'll be like, thank goodness we just held through and we didn't panic sell. If you're a short-term trader, I'm sure you know how this goes. You can make money with puts, but also be careful. For the long-term investors like we are, you just need to have this mentality that you're buying a company for the long term. So these small dips will not affect, and that comes into play when you look, let's say at the 1 year. You can see the trajectory going up, but when you see the weekly and the daily, it might look pretty bad. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you so much for reaching this far. Be green, be safe. See you on the next one. Bye.